Hey guys, this is Chase, that guy with the gloves, and this is my custom WrestleMania 30 Elite Daniel Bryan. This Daniel Bryan comes with a basic series head scan. This head scan has not appeared on any Elite yet, and I'm not going to lie, I happen to think this is one of, if not the best, Daniel Bryan head scan to date. I really love the hair, how much you've seen it, and the waves and the details on it. It's really great. It's wonderfully done. The beard looks awesome too, and it doesn't really hinder articulation all that much. You can get the full rotation on him. And the facial expression, this looks a lot like Daniel Bryan. And I'm a big fan of facial expressions on the action figures to begin with, so I'm really happy how this one turned out. The shirt, which you may recognize, I actually own this shirt myself. It's really cool. This is Daniel Bryan's Yes shirt. And so when he started wearing up towards the build up to WrestleMania 30. It's really cool. This was made by Ralph's Figure Clothes. And this was one of two shirts that I bought from him. And I really like how they turned out. And I really like how his shirts turn out. It's pretty big Velcro on the back. It's a little bit bigger than what you see on the standard Mattel shirts, but it works. It's a little bit thicker than the Mattel shirts as well. So if you guys are looking for custom wrestling shirts, I would definitely check out Ralph's Figure Clothing. Alright, so on to what base figure I used. This was actually the very same Paul Heyman Build-A-Figure Elite from WrestleMania 29 that I reviewed a long time ago. Really like that figure. Now the reason why I chose to do this figure was because this figure had a crack in his abdomen joint, and I figured, well, if I'm gonna mess up a figure, because originally this was just gonna be a trial run, but if I was gonna mess up a figure, I might as well give it a shot and, you know, just do it on one that already has kind of a messed up joint. And turns out it's not that big a deal, and the figure turned out great. So the style of trunks that Daniel Bryan wore at WrestleMania 30, he has red and kind of a grayish silver on the left and right side of his trunks respectively, with white trim, and he has his DB Daniel Bryan symbol right there. That's all hand painted. Really like how those turned out. It's probably the coolest thing I've ever painted, to be honest with you. The trunks, I also did a glossy black instead of a flat black. On the knee pads, though, I chose a two-tone, so the back is a matte finish, and the front of the pads are gloss. It just gives it a little extra pop to it, and I really like it. And he's got his gray DB symbol in the front. I love how those turned out. So let's talk about the boots. This is probably the most requested thing I've ever been asked to talk about when it comes to one of my figures. A lot of people wanted to know how I made these. Well, the fur material is made out of an old fleece blanket. It was something I bought at Target for like $10, and I never liked sleeping in it. It wasn't comfortable, and it just burned the hell out of me in the middle of the night. It was like I was sleeping in an oven. So I haven't used it in like 3 or 4 years, and when I was coming up with the idea to make the fur boots, I couldn't find any material that I liked. So then I saw the blanket and was like, hey, let's give it a shot. So I cut it up just cut it up in some little patterns here, matched it to the form of the boot, and what's holding it to the boot is Milliput, the epoxy clay. I thought about super gluing it or hot gluing it, but I thought this would be a little bit more of a permanent solution. And then the parts of the epoxy that you can kind of still see, the rest of it I painted gray to match up with the fur of the boot, so that way you don't see any of that yellow epoxy clay sticking out. And his kick pads, I painted the red and gray flames on there. And he's got the DB symbol down there at the bottom, which is where the flames come out of. And then I just painted the trim on the edges of the kick guards. And yeah, that's really it. That's all that went into making this Daniel Bryan custom. Retains all the elite articulation, and It's actually one of my favorite figures. In fact, he might be my favorite custom. Alright guys, so that was my custom Daniel Bryan from WrestleMania 30. I hope you liked it. He will be used in the finale of Meltdown. Part 1 of that's going to come out very soon. And that's it. Got nothing else for you right now. So, this was Chase, that guy with the gloves. Be sure and like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to get a hold of me with any tips on how to make your own WrestleMania 30 Daniel Bryan, you can reach me at thatguywiththegloves@gmail.com or on Instagram at BurnoutInc BPW. See you next time.